Hi, welcome to my YouTube. I have a couple of issues with these GSG MP-40s that irks me. First, with the 9mm, I'm required to carry lots of tools to separate the upper from the lower. A tool for the C-clip, a mallet and a punch for the cross pin. I just can't push it out. In spite of being careful, I still managed to scratch it up. But that is not as concerning as the 22. The 22 uses a set screw. So you need an Allen wrench for that. I've never had a gun that used a set screw to hold the two halves together. And that's a big concern because we all know what happens to a set screw subject to prolonged vibration. Yes, it has a tendency to unscrew. I have no idea why the engineers at GSG didn't use a cross pin like they do on the 9mm. A Canadian fella MP-40 came apart while shooting. I can imagine how frightening that was. I don't know the real cause. It could be a broken set screw or simply the screw unscrewed. See the attached link. Now the second issue that seems to bother almost every user is the long travel of the trigger. Here again, I'm scratching my head wondering, why was it made that way? A fellow in the US has solved the problem by manufacturing new connecting link made of steel. But not everybody can buy from him because the gun laws in their country may prohibit importing gun parts. So I'm going to show you how to make one. It can be made out of hard plastic, aluminum, or copper. I'm going to do it out of copper. It's really easy. So let's begin. One of the biggest issues with these GSG MP-40, regardless of whether it's a 22 or a 9mm, is the long trigger pull. Here I'll show you what I mean. You got to pull the trigger for about 3/4 of an inch before it engages the sear. And that's way too long. I'll show you the exact problem by removing this side panel. And here's the problem. This disconnecting bar or plate has this long oval shape slot, and I have no idea why the engineers at GSG have made this an oval shape when they could have simply made this a round shape. Now there's a YouTuber in the States. He solved this problem by remanufacturing this plate out of steel. I'm going to show you how to remove this plate, and I'm going to show you another way to solve the problem. Okay, I'm going to build an adapter that'll attach to it. It's very simple, and that will solve the problem. Okay, you need to cut yourself a copper strip, 5mm by 10mm, and because the outside half round is easy to curve, but the inside would be difficult, I decided to drill the inside, or this side, of the half round. And to do that, I need a drill bit 13 by 64, which is the perfect size for the 5mm. So here I'm going to drill it. Now the reason why I'm drilling it here, because I'm going to be making two. Okay, so I finished drilling the hole, and you can see how I'm going to cut two pieces. The blackened area is what I want to keep. I'll just cut around this black area and round off the ends, and the round part will be on the front of this link like that, and in this particular case it'll go like this. I need two of these for two links. Okay, I cut out these two small pieces out of this plate, copper plate, 3mm. It used to be like this. I'm going to show you how they fit into the trigger link. It goes like this right here. Like that. Here I'll actually put on the rifle. I also noticed that the 9mm has a retaining screw for the link and the 22 does not. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Okay, it doesn't fall out. But what I need to do now is to make a retaining plate that'll stop that piece from falling out. So I'm going to make it out of one of these clips, paper clips. Okay, they just happen to be made from the same width. It slides right in like that. So I'm going to cut this clip. I'm going to use a tin snip. I'm going to cut about 1/8 of an inch like this. Okay. I'm going to do the other side. Okay, so what this clip's going to do is going to slide right in like this, and it's going to hold the this piece from falling out. Okay, now I should make these a little shorter because they're a little bit too long, so I'm going to have to cut some more off. Not a big deal. Tin snip is easy work. Okay, I need to make it here too. Okay. Let's see if this fits better. Yes, it does. Okay, it does. It holds pretty good, but just to make sure, what I'm going to do just to make sure it doesn't fall out, I'm going to tap a screw to this. Okay, instead of threading a screw to this, I decided to rivet this retainer on permanently. Now you could, this is the rivet, you could do two of them if you want, one beside each other. I decided to make this retaining clip permanent. Here I'll demonstrate what it looks like installed. Slide the copper piece in like this, hold it, and put it over this like that. And then lift it up and adjust the trigger, pull the trigger a bit, and there it is. Now I have to put the screw back in. Okay. Before, this trigger would have to travel about 3/4 of an inch before it engaged with the sear. Now, okay, this hammers down. Now it just travels about 1/4 of an inch and it triggers the hammer. I'll do that again. Watch the trigger. Only travel about 1/4 of an inch, and that's it. I'll show you from this angle. That copper piece won't fall out because this link is held down by this piece. And that's it. It's pretty simple. So thank you for joining me, and please subscribe.